Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India News, DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. President Draupadi Murmu to address the nation on the eve of 79th Independence Day. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to lead the Independence Day celebrations from the iconic Red Fort in Delhi. Ahead of Friday's Alaska summit, Trump threatens severe consequences if Putin refuses to end Ukraine war. UK Prime Minister Starmer sees viable chance of Russia-Ukraine ceasefire to meet Zelensky in Downing Street. And wildfires fanned by heat waves and strong winds rage across southern Europe, burning houses and factories. President Draupadi Murmu will address the nation on the eve of the 79th Independence Day. The address will be broadcast from 1900 hours IST on the entire national network of All India Radio and telecast over all channels of Doordarshan in Hindi, followed by the English version. Broadcast of the address in Hindi and English on Doordarshan will be followed by broadcast in regional languages by regional channels of Doordarshan. All India Radio will broadcast regional language versions at 21:30 hours IST on its respective regional networks. The nation will celebrate the 79th Independence Day on August 15th with Prime Minister Narendra Modi leading the celebrations from the iconic Red Fort in Delhi. The Prime Minister will unfurl the national flag and also address the nation from the ramparts of the iconic monument. As the nation is making giant strides towards realizing the government's vision of Viksit Bharat by 2047, the theme of this year's celebration is Naya Bharat. The celebrations will serve as a platform to commemorate the continuing rise of a prosperous, secure and bold Naya Bharat and provide renewed power to surge further ahead on the path of progress. The success of Operation Sindoor will be celebrated during the Independence Day celebrations this year. Approximately 500 special guests from different walks of life have been invited to witness the celebrations at Red Fort this year. Over 1,500 people from various states and union territories dressed in traditional attires have also been invited to witness the grand ceremony. The Delhi Traffic Police has issued restrictions and diversions for the main event on August 15th. The measures will be in effect around the Red Fort and adjoining areas to ensure security and smooth traffic flow. The road closures will be between 4 a.m. and 10 a.m. on the routes from Netaji Subhash Marg to Delhi Gate to C Hexagon, Netaji Subhash Marg to Delhi Gate to Chata Rail Chowk, SP Mukherjee Marg to HC Sen Marg to Yamuna Bazar Chowk, Chandni Chowk Road to Fountain Chowk to Red Fort, Nishad Raj Marg to Ring Road to Netaji Subhash Marg, Esplanade Road and its link Road to Netaji Subhash Marg and Lodian Road, GPO to Fountain Road, Ring Road, Rajghat to ISBT, Kashmiri Gate. Commuters should avoid roads without parking labels near C Hexagon, India Gate, Copernicus Marg, Mandi House, Sikandra Road, W Point, A Point, Tilak Marg, Mathura Road, BSZ Marg, Netaji Subhash Marg, JL Nehru Marg, Ring Road between Nizamuddin Khatta and ISBT Kashmiri Gate and Outer Ring Road from Nizamuddin Khatta to ISBT Kashmiri Gate via Salimgarh Bypass. As preparations for the 79th Independence Day are underway across the country, Delhi is under high security as Independence Day approaches. Delhi Police has intensified security checks ahead of the celebrations in the national capital. Mandi House metro station in the national capital is lit up in tricolour ahead of Independence Day. Northern state of Rajasthan's Ajmer has been illuminated in tricolour ahead of the celebrations. While in Punjab's Batinda, the Batinda fort is adorned with tricolour. In Uttar Pradesh, District Magistrate's Office in Ghaziabad has been illuminated in the colors of the national flag. Preparations in Uttar Pradesh's holy city of Ayodhya are also in full swing ahead of the Independence Day as government buildings and Ayodhya Dham railway station were adorned with colourful decorations. In northeastern state of Assam's Guwahati, the building of Assam Legislative Assembly in Guwahati was also illuminated in tricolour. Ahead of the Independence Day celebrations, Mumbai's CSMT and BMC Heritage Building were illuminated in the colours of the tricolour. In southern state of Karnataka, Kalaburgi railway station has been lit up in the colours of the tricolour. Tamil Nadu's Madurai airport also lit up in tricolour, lighting ahead of Independence Day. With Independence Day celebrations approaching, the Railway Protection Force has stepped up vigilance at the New Delhi railway station. On Wednesday, multiple teams, accompanied by dog squads, conducted intensive patrolling across platforms and passenger areas to ensure safety. As part of India's Independence Day 2025 celebrations, the Har Ghar Tiranga Yatra received enthusiastic participation nationwide. In New Delhi, the traffic police held a bike rally, actively promoting the campaign through rallies, school visits and patriotic programs. A Tiranga rally was organized in Udhampur, Jammu and Kashmir ahead of the Independence Day, featuring a 2-kilometer long national flag with the aim of promoting unity and national pride. Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Mohan Yadav participated in the Nauka Tiranga Yatra at Bhopal's Boat Club as part of the Har Ghar Tiranga campaign. Speaking to the citizens, he praised Bhopal's rich heritage and highlighted the success of Operation Sindoor. In Mayurbhanj district of Odisha, the administration organized a 200-feet-long Tiranga rally to promote national pride and unity ahead of the 79th Independence Day. Flags were distributed across colleges, schools and Anganwadi centers, encouraging every household to hoist the tricolour. With the 79th Independence Day around the corner, India's Southern Naval Command brought a vibrant touch of music and patriotism to Ernakulam on Wednesday. At the Kerala Fine Arts Society Hall, the Indian Navy Band performed an eclectic repertoire from martial tunes and patriotic melodies to local favourites, pop and folk. The free event welcomed Kochi residents to celebrate Independence Day and also honour Operation Sindoor. Partition Horrors Remembrance Day is observed annually on August 14th in India to honour the millions of people who suffered during the partition of India and Pakistan in 1947. On this day, Indians honour the resilience of those who endured unimaginable suffering during the division of British India. Declared in 2021, this day is a solemn tribute to the victims of one of the largest mass migrations in history. The partition of India is a story of violence, cruelty, rape, torture, unprecedented human displacement and forced migration. It is a story in which millions sought new homes in environments that were alien and resistive. Partition Horrors Remembrance Day is not just about looking back, it's about building bridges between communities, generations and nations. Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid homage to all those who lost their lives during partition to mark the Partition Horrors Remembrance Day. On social media platform X, Prime Minister Modi wrote, and I quote him, "India observes Partition Horrors Remembrance Day, remembering the upheaval and pain endured by countless people during that tragic chapter of our history. It is also a day to honour their grit, their ability to face unimaginable loss and still find the strength to start afresh. Many of those affected went on to rebuild their lives and achieve remarkable milestones. This day is also a reminder of our enduring responsibility to strengthen the bonds of harmony that hold our country together. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh also took to social media X, recalling the partition horrors, the painful chapter of 1947. He said, and I quote him, "On Partition Horrors Remembrance Day, recalling that painful chapter of 1947, I pay tribute to all those brothers and sisters who had to endure the horrific consequences of hatred and violence following India's partition and witnessed the loss of life and property. Even today, every Indian feels empathy for those affected families. We are fully committed to further strengthening social harmony in the country." On Partition Horrors Remembrance Day, Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal took to social media platform X. He said, and I quote him, "On this day in the year 1947, people had to endure the pain of violence, displacement and loss of loved ones due to partition. Partition Horrors Remembrance Day will continue to pay tribute to all those who sacrificed while making future generations aware of the unbearable suffering of the displaced." The Indian Met Department has issued heavy to very heavy rainfall alerts across the country. For Uttarakhand and Jammu and Kashmir, there is an orange alert, with Uttarakhand expected to experience heavy to very heavy rainfall till Tuesday, while Jammu and Kashmir are expected to experience heavy to very heavy rainfall till Monday. Also, relief and rescue operations are ongoing for the 10th day in Dhairali following a recent natural disaster. BRO is working day and night on the highway to reach the Dhairali natural disaster. At the same time, due to rise in the water level of Ma Ganga in the late evening, the Balkanda temple is in danger due to rapid erosion. Whereas Telangana government has ordered the closure of all schools in 5 districts on Thursday, following a red alert issued by the Indian Met Department. Schools in Hyderabad will operate for half a day, while IT companies have been advised to allow employees to work from home. Light to moderate rainfall has been recorded in most parts of the Delhi NCR on Thursday. Indian Met Department has predicted thunderstorm and lightning with very heavy rains during the day at several places in the national capital. The Met Department also said the national capital will witness rain till August 19th and will be accompanied by thunderstorms from August 18th onwards. Heavy rainfall has continued across most districts of Himachal Pradesh over the past 24 hours, triggering incidents of cloud bursts, floods. Due to heavy rainfall since last night in Nalagarh, a massive landslide has occurred on the Swarghat route. The NH 105 has been blocked near Undpur due to the landslide. The administration has requested travellers not to use this route and to take alternative routes instead. The worst hit area in the Rampur region it is the Rampur region of Shimla district, particularly the lower hills near Srikhand Mahadev area. Cloudburst in the Ganvi Khad and nearby Kurpan Khad in Nirmand subdivision led to sudden flooding, sweeping away bridges that connected several villages. Similarly, in Jubal and Chopal subdivisions of Shimla district, landslides have led to road closures, and the administration has ordered closure of all educational institutions in these areas as a precaution. All right, Rachna Verma is joining us from Shimla. Rachna, we've told our viewers about the hardships which the people have to endure in Shimla. You get us the latest update.
Definitely, Preeti, it looks like that Himachal Pradesh is no longer getting a relief from the monsoon. Since yesterday, 5 districts have been hit by the cloudbursts and the flash floods, mostly in the Kullu, Kinnaur and the Shimla district. And as you stated, that Rampur is the most hit area. However, no loss of life has been reported yet. But yes, people have lost their agricultural land, their bridges, their shops, and roads and etc. Currently, uh, the administration has closed the schools and college institutions, keeping in a view of the current situation since the orange alert is already there. Apart from that, rescue operation has been operated in different districts of the Himachal Pradesh, including the Kinnaur district, where the yesterday at Fuji's Lungpa Nala triggered a flash flood late night, where the army took a rescue operation and stayed to rescue two villagers. So yes, advisory has been issued that do not travel if it is not required, and stay away from the rivers and the small nulas.
All right, Rachna, thank you so much for joining in with those updates from Himachal Pradesh. And from here, we'll get you global weather updates now. First, from the Asian continent, Typhoon Podl made its second landfall along the coast of Zhangpu County in East China's Fujian province just after midnight on Thursday. The typhoon, which made its first landfall in Taitung County on Wednesday, is expected to bring strong winds and heavy rainfall across Guangdong, Guangxi, Hunan, and Guizhou. Disaster officials said that one person is missing after he went fishing and was swept away. Over 140 have been injured, while more than 8,000 people were evacuated from their homes. As Podl swept across storm-battered central and southern areas of Taiwan, it toppled dozens of trees and triggered flooding. Tropical storm Podl drenched Hong Kong on Thursday as it issued its highest level black rainstorm warning, adjourning the hearing of Hong Kong media tycoon Jimmy Lai until the torrential rain subsides. Medical authorities announced the outpatient clinics across Hong Kong would be shut until the warning is lifted, with accident and emerging services remaining open. The postal services will also be suspended due to downpour. Greece battled a dozen major wildfires on Wednesday as a heatwave stoked blazes and forced the evacuation of thousands in southern Europe. Firefighters were struggling to tame blazes in several countries in southern Europe, including Albania, Greece, Montenegro, Spain, and in Turkey. Strong winds, prolonged dryness, and intense heat have worsened conditions across much of the mainland and on the islands, forcing evacuations and dramatic rescue operations in recent days. The authorities in Greece have deployed nearly 5,000 firefighters and 62 aircraft, along with several Coast Guard vessels, and they warned of a very difficult day ahead. Extreme temperatures have gripped much of southern Europe since Friday, fueling fires that have claimed at least 2 lives in recent days. On Wednesday, the toll continued to climb. Spanish government has asked the European Union for its help in fighting several wildfires across the country, in particular 2 water bombing planes. 6,000 people from 26 localities had been evacuated from their homes, while 7 people had been admitted to hospital for burns, including 4 in critical condition. Portugal also deployed more than 2,100 firefighters and 20 aircraft against 5 major blazes, with efforts focused on fire in the central municipality of Trancoso that has raged since Saturday. US President Donald Trump issued a stark warning to Russian President Vladimir Putin, threatening severe consequences if Moscow obstructs peace in Ukraine. Trump did not specify what the consequences could be, but hinted that punitive measures, possibly economic sanctions, could follow if their scheduled meeting in Alaska on Friday fails to produce results. However, Trump stressed that the talks would serve as a stepping stone for a possible second meeting, this time involving Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Trump did not provide a time frame for the second meeting.
Consequences if Vladimir Putin does not agree to stop the war after your meeting on Friday?
Yes, they will. Yeah.
What will the consequences
there will be
be?
consequences.
Sanctions, tariffs?
There will be, I don't have to say, there will be very severe consequences.
However, Russia is likely to resist Ukraine and Europe's demands strongly, and previously had said its stance had not changed since it was first detailed by Putin in June 2024. Russian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Alexei Fadiev earlier said that Moscow's stance had not changed since last year. French President Emmanuel Macron said Trump agreed that Ukraine must be involved in any discussions about ceding land, while German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, who hosted the virtual meeting, said the principle that borders could not be changed by force must continue to apply. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Wednesday that he warned US President Donald Trump that Vladimir Putin was bluffing about wanting to end the conflict. At a joint briefing in Berlin with German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, Zelensky expressed hope that the Trump-Putin meeting on Friday will focus on a ceasefire. Zelensky added that he wanted a three-leader meeting, saying no talks about Ukraine should exclude Kyiv. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer will meet with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in London on Thursday, his office said, ahead of a key US-Russia summit in Alaska. Zelensky will arrive at Downing Street at 8:30 GMT. Starmer on Wednesday maintained that there was now a viable chance for a Ukraine ceasefire. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio on Wednesday took steps to restrict visas for some African, Caribbean and Brazilian officials who Washington alleges have ties to a Cuban program that sends medical workers overseas. The State Department revoked the visas of Brazilian Ministry of Health official Mazart Julio Teborcels and former Pan American Health Organization official Alberto Clement. Rubio did not name other officials who were affected, but said that they were from Africa, Cuba and Grenada. The Cuban government has blasted U.S. efforts to stop the medical missions, calling them a cynical excuse to go after its foreign currency earnings. Caribbean leaders have previously rejected U.S. acquisitions of Cuban labor exploitation. A Peruvian judge has ordered the country's ex-president Martin Vizcarra to be held in pre-trial detention over bribery allegations. In a hearing on Wednesday, the judge ordered the pre-trial detention for former President Martin Vizcarra for allegedly taking bribes while he was governor of the Moquegua region more than a decade ago. Justice Chavez ordered Vizcarra to be held for 5 months, making him the fifth former Peruvian president to be jailed in recent years. Vizcarra, who has denied the charges and claimed to be a victim of political persecution, came to power in 2018 after his predecessor resigned. He was removed from office by Congress 2 years later when the investigations against him began. 3 other ex-presidents, Alejandro Toledo, Ollanta Humala and Pedro Castillo, are currently being held in a special facility built for former leaders of the current country in a police base in the capital of Lima. Vizcarra is likely to join them there. In the latest of North Korea and South Korea's spat, the powerful sister of North Korea's leader has denied reports by the South Korean military that Pyongyang had removed propaganda loudspeakers along the border. Kim Yo-jong underscored that the South's efforts to ease the tensions were worthless. Since his election in June, South Korean President Lee Jae-myung has vowed to reach out to the nuclear-armed North and pursue dialogue without preconditions, in a reversal from his hawkish predecessor. The two countries had halted propaganda broadcasts along the demilitarized zone, Seoul's military said in June after Lee's election. South Korea's defense ministry said it had begun removing loudspeakers from its side of the border as a practical measure aimed at helping ease tensions. North Korea dismissed such gestures. Bitcoin hit a record high on Thursday, driven by anticipated Federal Reserve policy changes and new financial reforms. The world's largest crypto asset by market capitalization climbed to $124,002.49 in early Asia trading, surpassing its previous peak hit in July. On the day, the second largest crypto token, Ether, hit $4,780.04, the highest level since late 2021. Bitcoin has risen nearly 32% so far in 2032 on the back of long-sought regulatory wins for the sector following President Donald Trump's return to the White House. Trump has called himself the crypto president, and his family has made a series of forays into the sector over the past year. An executive order last week paved the way to allow crypto assets retirement accounts, highlighting an increasingly favorable regulatory environment in the U.S. A quick look at other stories making it to the headlines from across the globe. South Korea's top court ruled on Thursday that globally popular South Korean children's song Baby Shark was not plagiarized, rejecting a copyright claim filed by a US-based composer. With its catchy lyrics, the Baby Shark dance video is the most viewed on YouTube with more than 16 billion views, roughly double up those of the runner-up Despacito and third place Wheels on the Bus. An exhibition on the atomic bombings of the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki was organized at the Battleship Missouri Memorial in Pearl Harbor in the U.S. state of Hawaii. The Missouri is a symbolic battleship that participated in the battles against Japanese forces during World War II. The deck was the site of the surrender ceremony of the Empire of Japan and became a museum ship after her retirement. Thousands of artists from across the world exhibited their works at the Darwin Aboriginal Art Fair in Australia. It's a huge revenue raiser for remote community art centers and a powerful way for artists to share stories and learn from one another. Organizers estimate the fair will generate more than $4 million in revenue, with stalls making around 25% of their annual return. That's it in this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS platforms, and you can download the respective QR codes. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.